What have you created? Nico Harrison, what have you created? Well, I think the answer is pretty obvious, and it was pretty obvious the moment Luka Dončić was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. Because I don't care if Luka Dončić is 270 pounds, like Dallas claim. I don't care if LeBron James is 40 years old. I don't care if Jackson Hayes is their starting center, and JJ Redick was a podcast host a year ago. If Luka Dončić and LeBron James are on the same team together, well, this is what happens, and it is still early, but with every single passing game, the Lakers look more and more like a championship contender. Luka Dončić looks more and more like himself, and LeBron James, I've given up on even trying to describe what he is doing, and in saying all of this, the scariest part of what the Lakers are doing right now is happening on the defensive end of the floor, because over the last 24 games, it isn't the Thunder, it isn't the Celtic or the Cavs who have had the best defense. It's been the Lakers with a record of 20-4 in that time, a top 10 offense, the best defense, and the third best net rating, only behind OKC and Cleveland. It's time to accept reality. The Los Angeles Lakers are championship contenders, and what is truly scary is it feels like we are just scratching the surface of what we could see from Luka Dončić and LeBron James, and even Austin Reeves for that matter. Because if this team can maintain an elite defense, what is stopping them? I mean, the offense is going to speak for itself, and we are starting to see that, with Luka Dončić showing what makes him a generational talent and one of the greatest passers ever. I mean, just watch him here, casually bringing the ball up the floor. He goes between his legs to beat Bruce Brown, splits the help from Carlo, and then throws the lob to Vando. Or how about a play like this from the game against Dallas, where he drives past Edwards and pause here. 1, 2, 3 defenders within 2 feet of him, which allows Luka to fool them all with a pass fake before finding Reeves wide open for 3. And that right there is an encapsulation of what makes Luka Dončić a generational playmaker. The ability to draw so many defenders, the ability to then fake them out, and then the ability to make the pass. He is doing this every single game, multiple times a quarter, whether it is throwing that skip pass to the corner shooter, whether it is throwing no-look passes behind his head, throwing lobs to Jackson Hayes. This guy doesn't have a single pass that he cannot make. And Nico Harrison thought it was a great idea. I'm not even going to mention that. I am not even going to mention that. And you know who's happy that Luka Dončić is playing on the Lakers? His former teammate Dorian Finney-Smith, who had this to say about playing with Luka Dončić and LeBron James. Oh, and Luka isn't just making life easy for the role players. No. The chemistry he's already building with LeBron James should have the rest of the NBA sitting up and taking notice, because despite some clowns having this idea that those two wouldn't be able to coexist, yes, those two genius basketball players that have already proven they can play alongside other ball-dominant players who have taken strides in improving their off-ball game, their off-ball shooting, their cutting, those two guys, yeah, some people didn't think they would be able to coexist, but not only are they coexisting, they are thriving, and LeBron James is particularly thriving off playmaking that Luka is bringing. Watch here as Luka drives into the paint. Cat has to help over, and with the defense out of position, look at the space LeBron has to get the ball off the catch and drive immediately for the layup. I don't know what people thought about LeBron James, but this is one of the best cutters in the league. This is one of the best transition scorers in the league. This is someone who's shooting 40% from 3, and all of those aspects of his game have been amplified alongside Luka Dončić. Meanwhile, he doesn't have to handle the ball as much. Meanwhile, he can rest on offense at times, and you are seeing a version of LeBron that is more efficient, that is more effective, that is more calculated, and is dominating alongside Luka Dončić. And while we're talking about him, can I just give you guys some LeBron James numbers? Because after a bit of a slow start to the season, where I saw people suggesting it might finally be over, he might finally be washed, well, over his last 34 games, he is averaging 27 points, 8 assists, and 8 rebounds on 54, 41, 80 shooting splits. I know you hear hear it all the time. I don't even care that he's 40 years old. Even if he was 25, those numbers would be ridiculous. And the scariest part about this for the rest of the NBA is LeBron James is clearly rejuvenated alongside Luka Dončić. And I mentioned the off-ball play. We are seeing LeBron do what pretty much only LeBron can do. On some nights, he decides to be the best 3-and-D player in the world. On other nights, he decides to be someone who can dominate in transition, getting to the rim at will, and looking like prime LeBron James at 40 years old. And then on other nights, he gives you the whole package, showcasing the defense, the transition scoring, and then obviously the ability to manipulate the defense and do what Luka Dončić does in addition to everything else. This is scary, and when you pair him with Luka Dončić, well, you get a team that looks like this. You get a team that has won 8 games in a row and looks, quite frankly, unstoppable. And another person I want to give a shout out to is Rob Pelinka, because we'll always remember this season for Luka Dončić joining the Lakers. We might even remember it for the weird saga involving Mark Williams and Dalton Connect. But one trade we should remember it for as well is the Dorian Finney-Smith trade. Getting rid of D'Angelo Russell for Dorian Finney-Smith will go down as an absolute steal of a trade. A Swiss Army knife, a 3-and-D wing who can guard Nikola Jokic on some nights, Jason Tatum on other nights, and then also do all of the little things, offensive rebounding, knocking down threes. This is a guy who is a winning player. And in general, Finney-Smith is the encapsulation of what has made this defense great over the last 25 games. The energy, the versatility, and a great game plan from JJ Redick. There is no reason a team starting Jackson Hayes at center should be the best defense in the league for 25 games now. There is no reason a team should get better defensively after trading Anthony Davis. And according to Nico Harrison and the Mavs, there is no reason this team should have had any chance at being a great defense after trading for Luka Dončić. Because that was why the Mavs traded Luka Dončić, right? They wanted to build an elite defense. It's funny that the Lakers have built an elite defense alongside Luka Dončić. Meanwhile, the Mavs have been one of the worst teams in the league and one of the worst defenses in the league. You know, that's just funny. And maybe Luka isn't actually the worst defender of all time, and the supporting cast and the game plan and the effort matters, which all of those things the Lakers are nailing right now. And another thing I was interested in seeing on this Lakers team, in addition to the defense, which so far they have knocked out of the park, was the chemistry, not just between Luka and LeBron, but between Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. Because whether you like it or not, Austin Reeves has played at a near all-star level for the last 2 or 3 months of the season. And I know he just came back from injury and had a bit of a stinker in the most recent game, but prior to that, what we were seeing with those 3 on the court, it looked like a genuine big 3. Sometimes I think that's where people overthink playing with 3 great players. 3 guys who can all shoot, 3 guys who can all cut, 3 guys who can all move and play make. They're going to make it work. And if the defense is going to be this good, I mean, there's no limit on how good this team can be. Now, if you made it all the way to the end of the video and want to see more content like this, consider subscribing. Dropping a like on the video would be cool. Most importantly, have a great day.